guys, welcome to Kids Church. It's our final Saturday outside. Next week, we're moving to Sundays. If you're watching on video at home, next week you'll see me on a studio version of Kids Church because we won't be able to record and broadcast and all that kind of stuff at the same time. It's all technical. But welcome today. We're going to have a great time here at Goodman's Global Games. David, yes. No online school on Sundays. No online school on Sundays. That is one of the best part about Sundays, and an even better part about Sundays is being able to get together with you and worship God. We're going to start by singing this morning. We're going to start by singing about how God designed us. This is how. Stand on up and sing with me.
I wanna look up when the world looks down. I wanna make some history in the here and now. I wanna stand tall when all around me falls. I wanna march to the rhythm of a different call. 'Cause the world is upside down, and there's only one way out. Go against the grain, swim against the tide. Gotta kneel if you want to fly. Run into the wind and take the hard way out. If you wanna know what life's all about, this is how. I wanna be sane when the world is crazed. I wanna see the hand of God and be amazed. Oh yeah. I wanna love when it's out of style. I wanna turn the other cheek, walk another mile. Because the world is upside down, and there's only one way out. Go against the grain, swim against the tide. You gotta kneel if you want to fly. Run into the wind, take the hard way out. If you wanna know what life's all about, this is how. If you wanna see the right way up in a world that sees things upside down, then hit your knees and you will be lifted up. That's the way that the lost get found. So turn it around, flip it upside down. That's the way that the lost get found. Turn it around, flip it upside down. That's the way to go against the grain, swim against the tide. You've gotta kneel if you wanna fly. Run into the wind, take the hard way out. If you wanna know what life's all about, go against the grain, swim against the tide. You gotta kneel if you wanna fly. Run into the wind and take the hard way out. If you wanna know what life's all about, yeah. If you wanna know what life's all about. Oh, if you wanna know what life's all about, this is how.
Oh, man. See, if you're at home, what you're missing is chair dancing. There's a lot of chair dancing happening out here. There's apparently some sort of emergency going on somewhere, too. There's sirens, but welcome to Kids Church. I want to remind you, if you are here, that you need to stay 6 foot apart from others, like Bigfoot always does. I mean, there are a lot of people in the world who say they have seen Bigfoot, but ain't nobody ever said they've been within 6 feet of Bigfoot. So you want to stay more than 6 feet apart from the people next to you if you didn't come with them, like they live in your house and stuff. Yeah, be like Bigfoot. All right. And with that, we are getting ready for our opening game. I'm going to move this up here. That makes a nice little scratchy sound, doesn't it? All right, well, we are ready for our opening game, which is the trivial worldwide warm-up. Like last week, I've got some trivia questions here at Goodman's Global Games. I should probably turn them this way so you don't see the answers. Here at Goodman's Global Games, we have a worldwide competition going on, and I wanted to ask you some questions about worldwide stuff. And so each of these have three answers. If you think it's A, you can remain seated. If you think it's B, stand up. And if you think it's C, run around your chairs. All right, here we go. The first question is this. What country has won the most medals in the javelin? That's today's event at Goodman's Global Games, the javelin throw. Do you think it is A, Italy, B, France, or C, Finland? What do you guys think? There's a lot of people sitting, which leads me to believe that they don't know, or they just, I don't know. They think that maybe it is A. Circling things, it is Finland. If you're running around your chair, that is it. Finland has won 7 gold medals and 22 medals in the javelin. The next closest is the Soviet Union, which isn't even a country anymore, and they've had 7 total medals. So Finland, they like their javelin throwing. What is the javelin, by the way? Anyone describe it? Anyone know what it is? Yeah, so the javelin is a really pointy spear, and people see how far they can chuck it. They're javelin chuckers. I don't know if that's their technical name, but that's what they do. They chuck. All right, question number 2. The all-time lowest temperature was recorded also in Finland on January 28th, 1999. What was that temperature degree in Celsius? Was it 32 Celsius? Which is it 0 Celsius? Is it negative 51.5 Celsius? A, sit. B, stand. C, run around your chairs. It is C, negative 51.5 degrees Celsius. I forgot to look what that is in Fahrenheit. Could a parent on a phone quick look that up? The coldest that I've ever experienced in Minnesota was about 55 degrees below Fahrenheit, which I'm here to tell you is cold. That is a cold day. Your beard freezes. Everything freezes. Who's got it? Steph? What? Yes, in Minnesota, we were blowing bubbles, and they turned to ice. It was amazing. What is it, Stephanie? Negative 60.7. So I've been at like negative 50, so I've been close to the record temperature low. But negative 60.7 degrees. What do you guys think? Does that sound like a good day? That sounds horribly cold. All right. Next question. I hope you're playing home here, too. So the tallest in the world, 722 feet tall. A, B, United Arab Emirates, Australia. I see a lot of people pretty confidently standing for this one, and that is true. It is in the United Arab Emirates. The building is named the Burj Khalifa. It is 2,722 feet tall. That is insanely tall. I would not want to have to go on that roof. All right. Next question. In 2001, this by the way. In 2001, a new type of music player was played digital files was announced by Apple. It was called the iPod. That's right, everybody. iPods originally, the only thing you could do with them is just play music on them. Yeah, none of that's true. No. When it was first invented, people are looking at me like I am lying to them and am insane. What? Anything else on it? Yes, the original iPods, all it was a music player. That was it. I'm not old. It was so what country was Apple founded in? Was it A, Utopia, B, China, or C, the USA? Yes, we're all running around out here, and it is, of course, the USA. That is the home of Apple. It's true. The original iPod was just, they just called it an MP3 player. That's all it could do was play MP3 music files, which you mostly downloaded illegally. So, last question. One of the great, or as most called football players to ever play the game was named Pele. What country was Pele? A, Sweden, B, South Africa, or C, Brazil? Oh, I didn't put it up. I'm sorry. There we go. Now we see it. Pele played soccer, or as it's called everywhere else, football. In A, Sweden, B, South Africa, or C, Brazil? Oh, I am surprised. I thought more people would get this. It is C. It is Brazil. The famous Brazilian soccer player, Pele. He was incredible. All right, well, welcome. If to Goodman's Global Games, the event that brings athletes from all over the world to compete here at the Goodman Arena. If you want to see examples of people stepping up to lead, this is the place. Today's event, as I shared a little bit ago, is Javelin Throwing. But before we can get to that, we need to start things off with our official Goodman's Global Game theme song. We've named that a song that is named Relentless. It talks about how God's love for us is relentless. And last week, someone out here, might have even been Jordan, said that It was somebody anyways that said, yeah, it was Jordan. Said relentless means to never stop. God's love never stops for us. We can never do anything that God's like, I'm done. And if we start getting a little far away from God, God will chase us down. He wants to be friends of ours. So stand up or chair dance. We're going to sing this song together. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to start it.
Salvation sounds a new beginning. As distant hearts begin believing, redemption's bid is unrelenting. Your love goes on. Your love goes on. When the world gives way, carry us with your endless grace. Carry us.
All right. That was pretty fun. If you're at home, you were not able to see the incredible display of chair dancing that went on, but it was absolutely amazing. Now, all right, Caleb, turn around, and let's talk about what we're doing today. Today, we're going to continue to focus on how God designed each of us to be leaders by focusing on our actions and especially on how important it is to lead with love by our actions. But it might help us to watch some of Goodman's global games. You see, not everyone gets this idea about leadership. In fact, I think Coach Locke, who struggled last week, is going to be with the idea of words versus actions. So to see sorted out, we going to tune in Goodman's global game coverage. Before we do that, though, we do need to take our offering. So I'm going to pray for our offering. We give you guys an opportunity to give back to God each week. So let me pray this real quick. God, we love you very much, and we are having so much fun out here this morning. I hope that kids at home are having half the amount of fun that we're having outside, because it has been a really great morning so far. You've given us everything, fun music and chairs and laughter, and you've also given us the money we have. So we offer a little bit back to you to show you that we know it came from you, to thank you for it, and to let you know that you're going to use it better than we can. We love you, God. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. If you haven't done so already, we've got a little offering bucket right over. Also, I think I need to remind you that in order to be safe outside here, we need to stay 6 feet apart. The Australian government, actually this is the Kansas City Zoo, but it's an Australian animal. The Kansas City Zoo reminds us that keeping 2 capybara lengths between us and others is important. Do you guys want to know what a capybara is? Yeah, it's like a big round, and they carry chickens on their back in Minecraft? Well, how come I did not know this? Oh, man. All right. I didn't know they did that. That's so great. All right. Let's now check in with Rick Rexworth and Hank Happy.
Hello and welcome once again to our coverage of Goodman's Global Games.
You're Rick Rexworth!
Yes, I'm Rick Rexworth, and next to me is my good buddy and co-anchor, Hank Happy.
I'm Hank Happy!
Indeed you are. The games are well underway here at Goodman Arena, and the tension is beginning to build for today's events. Javelin throwing.
What's a javelin?
That's a great question. A javelin is kind of like a spear. The competitors throw it as far as they can. The one who throws the farthest will win.
What's a spear?
It's a long, pointy stick. A quick side note, Coach Locke of Team Blue holds several world records in javelin throwing. If he's passed on even a little of that knowledge and skill to his team, they'll have a clear advantage in today's competition.
Javelin throwing sounds dangerous and fun at the same time!
You said it, Hank. Teams ought to be heading out to practice by now, so we'll see you sideline at game time.
Wow, Coach, sounds like you have a pretty excited team out there.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn from the best. We're gonna throw farther than anyone. Yeah.
Yep, being a former champion javelin thrower, I'm used to all this pre-event excitement.
Well, they're ready to learn from you, Coach.
Hey, and I've compiled a list of steps that they'll need to learn how to throw a javelin perfectly. Hey, Team Blue, y'all listen up. Y'all ready to learn how to throw a javelin perfectly?
Yes, sir. We're ready. Teach us. What do we do?
All right, here's the steps you're gonna need. Number 1, hold the javelin horizontally in your right hand. Next, hold it up high over your shoulder. Begin running towards the line, smoothly gaining acceleration, all while maintaining the javelin's position. As you accelerate towards the throwing line, turn your left hip towards the target. The left leg will cross over the right leg as you bring the javelin back and throw. Keep your throwing arm shoulder height and straight. Plant with your left leg. Push off with your right. Bring your arm up and forward with the elbow high. Release the javelin with your hand at its highest point during the throw. And don't forget to follow through. Boom! Hey, there you have it. Now, y'all get out there and practice throwing that javelin.
Wait, what was the first part? I have some questions. Can you say that again slow?
Hey, I said go practice. Y'all move it. Go, go, go. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Hey, just look at them go. Hey, that's how you coach a winning team, my friend.
Coach, is that all you're planning to do? Just read some tips from your list?
Hey, these aren't just any old tips, okay? These are pro tips from a pro. Me.
But, Coach, that isn't enough. I mean, your team still doesn't know how to throw a javelin.
Well, of course they do. I just told them with the words that were coming out of my mouth how to throw a javelin, and the information went into their brains, okay? Through their ears, and now they know how to throw a javelin by now. That should be plenty for them to bring home the gold.
Yes, Coach, but your team needs more than words. They need action. You're a champion javelin thrower, right?
That's true.
Well, you should go out there and show them what to do. Show them how to hold, how to approach the line, how to release and follow through.
Show them? Hey, that sounds like a whole lot of extra work, okay? That's kind of a cockamamie idea, cockamamie being another word for crazy talk, all right? By now they're out that practice field getting ready to set some world records of their own.
World records. You think they're just gonna throw a javelin perfectly because you read them some words from your list?
Yep, and I can prove it. Hey, just watch them put into practice what I told them to practice on the practice field.
Who's glad they're not practicing right here? That's dangerous. All right, we're going to get back to Team Blue in just a little bit and see if Coach Locke can figure out what it meant or what it means to actually coach his team. Now, besides watching javelin throwing today, we're also going to be learning about what it takes to be a good leader. I want you to check out today's main point. Here it is. I will lead with action and not just words. That is a really important main point for us today. So we need to all say this together on the count of three. Repeat that with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I will lead with action, not just words. You know, I have people say it a second time, but man, that was loud right there. So we're just gonna keep it right there. I think these kids know this, and they could see the example from Coach Locke. Leading with actions and not just words is important. Now, I think we do need a little more explanation of this, though. Have you ever heard the statement, actions speak louder than words? How many of you have heard this before? Most of us have heard this. A teacher, a mom, or dad have told that to us. It means that people pay more attention to what you do than to what you say. Words are really important, but actions are even more important. This is especially true when it comes for a leader. For instance, I could talk all day long about how important it is for us to take care of our church building and keep it clean. I mean, we've only been in there like 2.5 years, and we need to keep this thing clean. I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk all about it. But if I go around making messes and I don't pick up after myself in there, then it really isn't that important. People are not, they're going to notice my actions more than my words. They're going to notice that I'm a slob more than me saying, let's take care of the building. And people would start to follow my example too. So pretty soon, everyone would just be messy in the building because they would see me being messy in the building. But if I say how important it is to do this, and then I back up my words with actions, that will make a huge impact on people. And pretty soon, I'll have people helping me take care and clean up our church building. Now, we learned last time that God designed all of us to be leaders. And today we're learning that we need to lead by taking action. So that's not just now it's like, how do we lead? We lead by taking action, right? And we don't want to just talk about what's doing is right. We need to step up in doing it. Now, the idea of leading with actions has been around for a really long time. I didn't just invent that this week. There were even people in the Bible who chose to lead with their actions. In fact, it'd be cool to learn about some of them with some pregame coverage in a weekly leadership tip by Nikki Truman, Johnny Timms, and Tony Playton.
Hi, I'm Nikki Truman with the GGG Network, and this week your leadership tip is sponsored by Muscle Muffin Mania. If you're a maniac about muscles, then Muscle Muffin Mania is for you. Well, in the studio today, we have the always informative GGG great Johnny Timms, as well as the ever-intimidating yet impeccably dressed Tony Playton. All right, guys, for this week's leadership tip, I have a couple of words for you.
No, they better not be big words because you know quarterbacks have a hard time with their vocabulary.
Oh, okay, right. So what about the time you went into the restaurant, ordered escargot from the waitress, but thought you were ordering enchiladas to go? Ordered 10?
That's not fair. It's not fair. It nowhere on the menu did it say snails. But at least my vocabulary goes past the words. T42 said, hut, hut, hut.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. I have our first word for you, and it is indolence.
Got it.
Perfect.
You do, huh?
The act of being inside a camera.
Oh, that's brilliant. What?
Yeah,
what
come on, in the lens.
Okay, moving on.
No, yeah, I think that's a great idea. So let's go with the next word, and that is negligent.
Okay, I got this one.
All
It
right.
is a gentleman from the country of Negli. Negligent, gent from gentleman.
Where in the world is the country of Negli?
Yes, please let us know where that is.
Next to Prosper. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Let's try the last word, all right?
All right.
Last word is precarious.
Ooh, you got this one.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not touching it. No, I mean, I know what it means. I mean, it means, you know, before you carry us, but I'm not even touching it.
You just told us. And wait, what?
Well, yeah, well, pre meaning before.
That's right.
Like the moment before, right? And carious.
No.
Precarious.
No, that-
The moment before you carry us.
That's just
Please,
wrong.
please.
Johnny, you got anything on this one?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic.
And it is, I got nothing.
Okay then, well, while we're going to be analyzing this next upcoming Bible lesson footage that actually has to do with these words, I have something for the two of you. It's this new thing called a dictionary. Maybe you should take a look.
All right.
All right. That's not what those words mean. And while they're figuring out the dictionary, we need to jump into our leadership lesson today in the book of Judges. We've been going through the book of Judges. We started last week with the first judge. You guys remember what his name was? He had a weird name. Blah, blah, I don't know is not it. I can't hear you, Jordan. Oatmeal? That's not oatmeal. Oathmeal. Yes, Oathmeal, not oatmeal. His name was not Oatmeal. But before we jump into that lesson, I've got a little song for you guys from a couple guys named the Fabulous Bentley Brothers. Check this out.
And now, the Fabulous Bentley Brothers.
You can't turn on a TV today without seeing a courtroom show with a celebrity judge just a judging away, deciding who takes on the dough. But long before television, yeah, people used to live without it. God sent celebrity judges to Israel, and there's a book about it. It's called Judges, that's the name. The subject and the title are one and the same. Like a book about weather called Weather, or a book about Heather called Heather. Who's Heather? She's my cousin. Oh, and that's her name.
Yeah, but who are the judges?
Well, you've got Othniel and Ehud, Shamgar and Deborah, Gideon and Tola, Jair and Jephthah. Who could forget about old Ibzan, or Elon and Abdon, and the most famous of them all, that long-haired dude named Samson.
He was strong.
They're the judges, that's the name. The subject of the book and the title of the book are the same. Like a book about chimneys called Chimneys, or a book about Henry called Henry.
Who's Henry?
He's my neighbor. Oh, and that's his name.
Yeah, but who are the judges again?
You've got Othniel and Ehud, Shamgar and Deborah, Gideon and Tola, Jair and Jephthah. Who could forget about old Ibzan, or Elon and Abdon, was of them all that long-haired dude named Samson.
He was strong until he got a haircut.
Excuse me. Wow. They've got some strange names, don't they? All right, let's jump into today's judge tale. So in this story, we find once again the Israelites are in a familiar position. In Judges chapter 3, verse 12, it says, once again, the Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight, and the Lord gave King Eglon of Moab control over Israel because of their evil. Yikes. See, earlier in their history, because of the evil actions, the Israelites were servants of a foreign king. And when they cried out to God, God heard them and raised up Othniel as a judge. We learned about him last week. And because of Othniel's positive influence, the Israelites lived in peace for over 40 years. Well, after Othniel died, the Israelites went right back to doing evil in God's sight. And once again, God allowed them to be taken over by another king named Eglon, and they were made to serve him for over 18 years. And that's where Ehud comes in. When the people of Israel cried out to God for help, God was faithful once again, and he raised up a rescuer, much like Othniel, to save the people. And that rescuer was a judge named Ehud. Well, one day Ehud was preparing to go to King Eglon and deliver Israel's tribute. Now, a tribute was money and sheep and stuff that the people paid to a king to show that king that they had submitted to him. But as Ehud prepared, he knew that he wasn't just going to go and bring the tribute to the king. Ehud had bigger plans in mind. He was going to rescue the Israelites from King Eglon's rule by killing the king, and in doing so, making the king's army easier to defeat. The Bible says that as Ehud prepared, he took a dagger and he strapped it on to his right leg. And that's an important key here, because the Bible says that Ehud was left-handed. And most all soldiers who fought in battles were right-handed, not left-handed. And so soldiers would strap their weapons on their left side so that it was easier to pull it out. Anyways, back to the story. Ehud strapped that dagger to his right leg and he hid it under his clothes. And then he left with some servants to go and see the king. And when he arrived at the king's palace, he paid the tribute that he was supposed to, and then he started home with those who had helped him carry the tribute to the king. And after they'd walked for a while, Ehud did something kind of interesting. When his men got to a town called Gilgal, Ehud left his men and he turned back to go see the king once more. And when he got to the palace, he went to King Eglon and told him that he had a secret message for him from God. And the king, when he heard this, sent his servants out of the room. Now, if you're like me, you might be asking a couple of questions here. Now, one, how is it that Ehud can get into a room to go see the king and have a dagger on him? Well, if you're asking that, that's a pretty good question. But remember I said earlier that almost all the fighting men were handed and they strapped their weapons side. But Ehud was left-handed and his dagger was on his right side underneath his clothes. So if the servants and guards had checked him, they might have just checked the left side where most people kept their weapons. They might have forgot to check his right side, and he was able to get his dagger to them, dagger inside without knowing, and he had it hidden under his clothes too. Now the second question is, why would the servants ever leave the king alone with some dude from another country? And I think it's because by this time the Israelites, they were pretty weak, and they were really no longer much of a threat to anyone. And after 18 years of domination, the king had certainly relaxed his security a little bit. And put those two things together, and the king was primed for a big mistake. Now, when the king sent his servants out of the room, this gave Ehud the opportunity that he needed. I'm just going to grab the Bible. I'm going to read this one right from here. It says that as King Eglon rose from his seat, Ehud reached with his left hand. He pulled out the dagger strapped to his right thigh, and he plunged it into the king's belly. The dagger went in so deep that the handle disappeared beneath the king's fat. Because the king, Ehud did not pull out the dagger, and the king's bowels emptied, which means the king pooed himself. Then Ehud closed and locked the doors of the room and escaped down the latrine, which was like a hole in the ground with like a little cover on it that the king would poop and pee in. So a lot of poop and pee in this story right here. Ew is right, yes. Ew is right. Now, after traveling for a while and probably getting some of the poo and pee off him, Ehud got back to the hill country of Ephraim, and there he called upon a band of Israelites to attack the Moabites. And while the king dead, the Moabites were in such disarray that Ehud and his band were able to defeat 10,000 of the Moabites' most able soldiers. And Ehud, with God's help, freed the Israelites, and they were at peace for the next 80 years. Yeah, that's good, right? There are lots of things that we can learn about the leadership of Ehud. Now, first of all, Ehud took leadership with his actions, not just his words. He could have sent someone else to go kill the king, but he didn't. He went himself. And second, Ehud watched out for those under him. He waited until his servants were far way off before he went back to go do what he was going to do. He wanted to make sure that if things went bad, they would be able to escape. And third, Ehud did this even though there was a huge risk, right? There was no guarantee that he'd be given an audience alone with the king. There was no guarantee that once he got that audience, he was going to be able to get a weapon into it. There was no guarantee that he was going to be able to find a way to escape. If any of those things went wrong, there was a pretty good shot that he might be killed. But he did it anyways, and God protected him. So as a leader, we should learn a lot from Ehud. We need to always be willing to lead with our actions and not just our words. And we need to watch and care for those around us. And we need to be willing to act even if there are risks. Because leaders always play it safe.
So I'm assuming that those three words that you gave us have to do with what Pastor just talked about.
Exactly. They all have to do with being a leader. Now, one of them was a synonym, and two of them were antonyms.
Oh, you have an aunt named Anonym too.
But, no, my antonym is Carol. No. An antonym is the exact opposite of the word that you want. So the first two were antonyms. That was indolence and negligent.
Okay. I've got indolent right here. It says it means lazy or idle because that would be the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do as leaders, right? Mm-hmm. And we're supposed to be people of action to lead out by example.
Very good. All right, Tony, tell us, what's the next one mean?
Well, the next word is negligent, right?
Right, that's
right. And I can see that negligent means to not take care of those around us, which that's the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do.
Very good.
We need to look out for those that we lead and kind of watch out for them, right?
Exactly. And the last one.
Gotta be cinnamon.
No, it's a synonym.
Like a cinnamon roll?
Yeah, a sea anemone.
No.
All right, I got this.
Never mind.
I got it. It's
Johnny,
precarious. Precarious.
Yeah, just,
okay.
What does it mean?
It says here precarious means being exposed to or involving danger because a leader steps out and acts even if it puts them into a dangerous situation.
Exactly. Good work, guys. You see, leaders lead with their actions. They take care of those who lead and they act even if it puts them at risk.
And that's all learned from our leadership tip of the week.
Yeah, well said.
Right. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for today. So on behalf of Johnny and Tony, I'm Nikki Truman, and this has been your GGG Leadership Tip of the Week. See you next time.
Hey, John. I got a word.
All right, those guys need...
Yeah, man.
Those guys need to learn the English language better, I think. Yeah, the dictionary. All right, now Ehud did not just sit around talking about the problem they had with King Eglon. He took action. First, he led with actions, and then he led with words. Now, I can honestly say none of us are ever going to be in the same position that Ehud was in. We will not have to free our people from an evil king by plunging a dagger into his belly fat and then jumping down a hole with poop. We were not going to have to do that, but we will face problems that require more than just our words to solve them. And in those moments, I hope that we all have the same courage that Ehud had, and we will choose to act. Now, it's almost time to check. Yeah, it's almost time to go back to Coach and see if he has figured any of this out. But first of all, we're going to take a break from our large group, and we're going to continue learning with a small group activity. So if you're at home, I'm going to say goodbye to you for a second. I'll be back during the week with this activity for you a little bit later. But if you're going to stay here, first of all, I want to remind you that during this activity, we need to maintain that good Darth Maul 6-foot distance, or else we want to stay distance during this. And I'm going to invite Yari up, and she has got a really fun activity to do with you guys. All right, we're all back from our time of small group activity. Let's find out what Coach Locke has learned.
What are they doing out there? Hey, where was the proper acceleration? Where was pointing their hip at the target? And the follow-through I saw. No follow-through.
Look, I told you, Coach, they need you to show them how to do it, not just tell them.
No, I disagree, okay? I'm the coach, they're the players, all right? They're supposed to do what I tell them to do, and they just didn't do it.
I'm sorry, Coach. All the best leaders understand that words are important, but words alone are not enough. You need to lead with action. And that's not just true now, it was true back in the Bible.
Really?
Yes. There was a leader in the Bible named Ehud, he really understood how to lead with action. You see, the Israelites were being oppressed by this evil king. And Ehud knew that something had to be done. So he did it. He went by himself into enemy territory and he got rid of the king. And then he snuck back to the Israelites, rallied the army, and led them to victory in battle. Look, none of that would have happened if he just sat back trying to lead by just talking.
Wow, that Ehud guy sounds like he just did it all.
He led with words and actions, and that's what you need to do right now. Your team needs you to show them how to throw the javelin and talk them through the process. Look, they're still on the practice field, and there's still time to give Team Blue the kind of coaching they need.
Hey, Janitor, you're right. Team Blue needs some coaching. They need the words, but they also need the action. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, Team Blue, let's do this. Y'all ready to learn how to throw a javelin? Woo!
Welcome back, Global Games fans!
You're welcome!
Indeed! The wait is over and it's time for the javelin throwing competition!
Or as I like to call them, pointy sticks!
All right, well, let's check in with our sideline reporter, AJ Jackson, for the close-up coverage of all the javelin throwing excitement. AJ?
Thanks, Rick and Hank. Sorry, but I'm a little nervous about this event. I watched Team Blue practice earlier today, and unless Coach Locke has helped his team out a lot, then I think we all might be in danger for this event.
Wait, it looks like all the teams are lining up to throw. They'll all throw at once, and the team that throws the farthest wins. They're all running up to the line, speeding up, and there's the throw. Wow, just look at all those javelins. They're up, flying, and starting to come down. And it looks like Team Red's javelin went the farthest. But Team Blue's javelins are a very close second. They certainly improved since their practice earlier today.
Red wins the gold and blue wins the silver. And everyone down here is safe. Back to you, Rick and Hank.
Thanks, AJ!
What happened? I wasn't paying attention!
Well, my friend, Team Red takes the gold in javelin throwing. For Goodman's Global Games, I'm Rick Rexworth.
Where am I?
And he's Hank Happy. From all of us in studio, good game and good day.
Who said that? Where are you?
Oh, hey, Coach. I'm sorry Team Blue didn't win the gold, but the silver medal is an incredible accomplishment.
Hey, thanks, Janitor. Yeah, if I had started with action and not just words, I feel like we could have taken home the gold, but I'm still really proud of my team and how much they improved. I also learned a lesson. From now on, I'm going to be a coach of action and not just words.
Well, that's good to hear, Coach.
Hey, hold on there, Janitor, okay? I said I'm going to be a coach of action, and that's the real victory here. And you know how I celebrate victory.
Wait, you shouldn't. You just...
Woo! Hey, that's pretty refreshing. Thanks again, Janitor.
Super bouncy balls?
Hey, I like to change it up from time to time. Here we go, Team Blue. Woo!
Oh, boy. Yeah, the bugs have come out here. Like, the gnats woke up at, 11 a.m., it looked. So, Well, first of all, I'm glad we're almost done because the bugs are getting all of us. I'm glad that Coach Locke finally stepped up and has actually led his team with a little bit of action. If Coach Locke had just sent his team out to compete with only his words and javelin throwing, someone really might have gotten hurt. Now remember that the next time you are nervous about taking action, and remember that whenever you do step up and take action for what is right, God is with you right there. Now, we're probably never going to be asked to coach a team on how to throw javelins because we don't live in Finland, and that's apparently where they throw them. And we'll definitely never be able to ask us to assassinate an enemy king and escape by jumping in his toilet. But I do know that God has designed all of us to lead and influence those around us, and that requires action. And really, there's one particular action that comes to mind. Let me share this verse with you. All right, John, who was one of Jesus' closest friends when Jesus was here on earth 2,000 years ago, wrote a story of Jesus' life, and he also wrote some letters to the church. And in his first church letter, he said, "Dear children, let's not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions." And it's a great verse. Yeah, it's a verse that we come to a lot because it's so important. But being chewed out by my kid, man. At first, it sounds like we're talking about love and not leadership. But keep in mind that leadership is all about love, and love is all about leadership. Being a leader is about showing love. God loves us and leads us because of his love. And when we lead others, it should come from love, not selfishness, not wanting to be important, not wanting power, and all that kind of stuff. All this, and this verse tells us again that words aren't enough. Hey, Caleb and David. Hey, guys, I'm talking. All right, this verse tells us again that words are not enough. When we lead by love, and we show love by action. And sadly, not everyone really gets this idea. Now, it has been a fantastic day at Goodman's Global Games, but we're not done quite yet because it's time for our review game. And if any of you ever hope to compete for Goodman's Global Games, we need to get you ready. So time for Goodman's challenging cool down challenge. But first, let me remind you one final time to stay apart from each other. This has to be Canadian because they're talking about caribou. Stay a caribou apart. Caribou is just really, it's kind of another word for reindeer. So, yes, neither of them really are. All right, review game time. All right. All right, here we go. We've got questions, and then we're going to have a physical challenge after each one. Julie and Caleb, you want to do the first one? Yes. All right. So why is it important to lead with actions and not just words? Is it A, because nobody listens to our words? B, because leading with actions is easy and fun? C, it's not important, leading with words is enough? Or D, because our actions can have a bigger influence and greater impact on others than just our words? Your answer in 3, 2, 1. D it is. All right, jumping jacks for 30 seconds. Are you ready? All right, here you go. Everyone's just doing jumping jacks. Because everyone's just doing jumping jacks. This is also not how you know you're doing children's ministry and not adult ministry. Because if you said, all right, all you adults, let's get up and do jumping jacks. Here's, and I included would do this. No, man. All right. Question 2. Imagine that the teacher at school on your Zoom meetings asks for volunteers to help clean up the classroom. I don't know how that really works on Zoom. I probably shouldn't have said Zoom. What should you do? A, try to get one of your friends to volunteer so that you can relax. B, stand up and order the entire classroom to start cleaning. C, be the first one to volunteer and encourage some to join you. Or D, pretend you didn't hear the teacher. Your answer in 3, 2, 1. C. Yeah, be the first one. Just start doing it. Yes, Jordan. I think everyone's doing them, so I'm not even going to pick people since everyone's just doing them. Let's see. How about the running around your chair? Let's see how many times you can make that happen in 30 seconds. Get ready. Julia's just fell out. Oh, 15 seconds. You're only halfway there. All right, Pandemonium says, hey, make sure that we move our chairs back a caribou's distance from others. They got kind of moved around as we were all being a little wacky there, so let's move our chairs apart from each other a little bit. All right, question number 3. Imagine that you are riding home in the car with your family. You notice that your neighborhood has some trash on the ground in a few places. What should you do? A, complain that there is trash everywhere. B, tell your brothers and sisters that they should go pick up the trash. C, call the city sanitation department and tell them they should do a better job. Or D, organize some time to go around and pick up the trash yourself or ask your family to come with you. 3, 2, 1. D. All right, everybody, it's push-up time. Get ready. Here we go. You done? That's good. Julia, what are you doing? Oh, chair push-ups. I see chair push-ups going on. That wasn't a push-up, Penelope Nosp. If you just bend over and touch the ground while you're seated, that is... Man, that's not a push-up that I have ever heard of. Okay, in the Bible lesson today, how did Ehud deal with his actions, or lead with his actions? A, he sat around all day thinking and planning and thinking some more. B, he ordered the Israelites to ask God for help. C, he got rid of the evil king, even though it was dangerous and difficult and full of poop. And D, he tried to get rid of the king, but was captured. Your answer in 3, 2, 1... Yeah, see, by the way, anytime anyone says like, oh, I don't read the Bible, it's just boring stuff that happens in there. What? This was not a boring story. I'll tell you what. All right, let's see. I'm running out of things to have them do. Let's all, you guys know how to do like a tree kind of thing, right? Like do this kind of thing. All right, trees, 30 seconds, get ready. We've got them. I can do this one. See now, if you said do this, I can do this. I'll do this with you. What are you hopping? What is all the hopping? I've never seen a tree hop. I have never seen a tree hop in my life. All right. In the skit, why didn't Coach Locke want to show his team how to throw a javelin? Is it A, he thought showing them was too much work and that his words should be enough on their own? B, he'd forgotten the right way to throw a javelin? C, he didn't have time to show them the right way? Or D, he wanted the janitor to show them how to throw a javelin? Your answer in 3, 2, 1. It is A. All right. And for this one, we're going to do some bunny hopping in place for the next 30 seconds. So get ready to bunny hop. right, and our final question right here is our memory verse, which Caleb has told me we've done before, so we should know it. Dear children, let's not merely blank that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our blank. So what is let's not merely hope that we love each other. Let's show the truth by our life. Let's not merely say that we love each other. Let's show the truth by our actions. Let's not merely pretend that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our words. Or let's not merely promise that we love each other. Let's show the truth by our gifts. Woo, that's a lot of words. Your answer in 3, 2, 1. Yes. Let's not merely say that we love each other. Let's show the truth by our actions. Man, it is a little bit of a tongue twister. And man, when you get home with your family, this is a great verse to remember because we were family. We say we love each other all the time, right? I love you, Caleb. I love you, Julia. Like I say that all the time, but I should show the truth by my actions and the way that I treat them, and they should do the same thing. When they go, I love you, Dad, then they should show the truth by their actions. When we show the truth by our actions, man, things go a whole lot better than when we just say it and we don't do it. All right, let's get up and let's jumping jack one last time here. Get ready and go. Chair jumping jacks going on too. All right, to finish up, I've got 2 quick things to share with you. One is our Christmas box challenge. I announced this last week, much like the peanut butter challenge where I had peanut butter on my head. We are donating shoe boxes full of gifts to a group called Samaritan's Purse, and they have a thing called Operation Christmas Child. They take these little shoe boxes full of gifts, and they send these things all over the world to kids whose parents love them very much but could never, ever, ever in a million years provide them gifts at Christmas time. And so we stuff these full of gifts, and we send them to them. And the kids not only get these gifts, but they also get to hear about Jesus, which is very important. That kids all around the world, not all of them can just go to kids' church like this every week, or watch kids' church on a video every week, streaming in their nice house on Wi-Fi. That just isn't reality for most people. So Julia and I each shopped for a Christmas box this week. I'm not going to unpack these because I won't tell you how much stuffing I had to do to actually stuff stuff in here. As you can see, the top is bowed out. I need to get some tape and fix that. We spent about $30 on gifts at Dollar General. This is, what is this? This is our girl box. So we've got a pillow in here. We've got a little bit of Play-Doh in there. We've got some a Yahtzee game. We've got crayons. We've got a couple stuffed animals. Anything that we could stuff in here, we stuff in here. And our goal is to collect 60 of these. There are hundreds of thousands of these that go out every year around the world. Our church wants to provide at least 60 of these. We show love by our action, right? We lead by action, and we lead in love by action. This is a simple way to show love to someone, is to give them a gift like this. And so we are looking to get 60 of these. So we've got 2 now. Caleb and Julia have put theirs together. And if we do that, I will lead one of our Christmas lessons at kids' church with a glitter beard, which sounds messy and glittery. I don't know. But I will do it. That's the action that I will do. I will lead by my action, by being willing to look a little silly for a day if we can provide this kind of love. What? And a Christmas hat? I could wear a Christmas hat. That is doable. So we're collecting these at kids' church. Parents, if we'll also do some contact-free kind of delivery on Sunday mornings before church starts as well, so be on the lookout for that. But we're collecting these definitely in kids' church. And then finally, this is our last time we're meeting on a Saturday morning. Saturday mornings are done. Parents, you can sleep in on Saturday mornings. Kids, you can sleep in. Man, I shouldn't. Yeah, right. Yeah, thanks, David. Don't remind me. But I should make announcements like this all the time. People love it when I say things like this. Sundays, starting next week, will be at Sunday at 11:15, which is a little later. It should be a little warmer at 11:15. It's been cold a couple weeks, so 11:15 allows it to warm up a little bit more. Adults, or it's not really just adults, but we have our JC Live time in the auditorium then, so there's live worship and live communion and live people. The only thing on video is the message that's shown on video, but everything else is live for that. So, Sunday starts to look a little bit more normal, where we have a live service for adults, we have live for kids. We will still be outside unless it rains or unless it just gets too darn cold, and the cold weather's coming at some point. In the backup location will be the spot. Parents, I began setting the spot up this week to have distance seating and things like that around. If you want to check that out before you leave today and say, what is it going to look like if we wind up inside, you're free to go inside and do that. Whenever we go in the building, we need to wear masks, but feel free to check that out if you wish. And I think the last thing I want to say is, if you're a kid here, if you're talking to someone when we're done, if your parents are talking and whatnot, put your masks up. Julia, yours might be inside with mom. But with that, I want to challenge you this week to be a good leader, to show that leadership through your actions, and especially the main action be love. Show love to others through your actions. I love you guys. I will see you all later. We are done.